Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Alena. In this video, I want to discuss the importance for our health, lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic system is highly underappreciated, if not neglected, system in our body. How many times when you go to the doctor, to the proper lymphatic fluid check is ordered along with the blood work? Probably never. And meanwhile, lymphatics plays a super important role in the proper function of our body. Why? Because it's responsible for the drainage and filtering of interstitial fluid that surrounds every single cell. And it's basically part of the blood plasma, plus all kinds of cellular waste and environmental toxins. So lymphatic system works as a network of lymphatic vessels, draining the fluid through the body towards the heart. And the clavicles points, especially left one, is the most important, is the termini, the terminal points through which lymph is draining to the heart. So I will talk about it later. So when I show you how to do self-massage to keep the lymph flow. So please make sure to watch this video to the end. Our bodies also have hundreds of lymph nodes throughout different places. Most important of them are located near the joints, associated with the joints. And in these lymph nodes reside immune cells called lymphocytes. In order to survey and eliminate all kinds of pathogens and foreign particles circulating through our body. Normally, lymph is supposed to be clear fluid, consisting of proteins, hormones, minerals, of course, fatty acids, and various cellular waste. However, when lymphatics become congested and backed up, lymph can acquire consistency of the cottage cheese. As you can imagine, in this condition, it can be drained properly, and that could result in a bunch of severe health problems, such as lymphedema, which is a severe swelling of extremities, chronic fatigue, sinus infections, chronic sinus infections, chronic headaches, cellulitis, skin rashes, eczema, brain fog, memory loss, and many, many more. Now, I want to make a clear point here. That popular trend to detox this or detox that is a little bit misleading. Why? Because our bodies are brilliantly intelligent. They can detox themselves absolutely perfectly, unless our lymphatic system is clogged and congested, unless all our major ways to remove the waste not working properly. And what are those pathways? Number one, bowel movement, kidney, sweating, breathing, and number five, for the women of reproductive age, is monthly bleeding. So if you can imagine all these ways of removal waste from our body is a funnel. The most critical, the narrowest point of this funnel is the bowel. If you don't move your bowels, if you don't poop properly every day, probably several times a day for many people, nothing else will work properly. Nothing else will move freely. So please make sure that all these ways of removal waste are open and flowing. Now, let's talk about lymphatics in particular. What can we do to ensure that the lymph flows freely? Number one, get your body moving, literally. Why it's important? Well, for infinite reasons, but in this particular case, I have to emphasize that lymphatics work hands in hand with fascia. What is fascia? Fascia is an intricate network of connective tissue surrounding every single organ, bone, tissue. It's basically collagen. And if fascia becomes stiff and unmovable, it's very difficult for the lymph system to drain properly. That's why massage, foam roller, basically myofascial release is so important. I want to mention here trampoline and its smaller indoor version, rebounder. These tools are very, very beneficial for the proper flow of lymph in our body, especially for the people who suffer from breast cancer or some other conditions that result in severe impairment of lymph nodes, removal of lymph nodes. So daily use of these devices, trampoline and rebounders, are very, very helpful. Next, get a good night's sleep. I made a special video about this a few days ago. Refer to it if you need to remind yourself what constitutes good sleep and how to achieve it. Turn off Wi-Fi. This kind of radiation is very bad for all kinds of systems in our body, but in particular, it thickens the lymph, and we don't want it. Our goal is to get it fluid, freely moving, and well working. And for that, clean diet, natural food, fruits and vegetables are essential. There are certain foods that not helpful, that thicken the lymph. And these are banana, raw onion, and especially cow milk, cow dairy. I'm not saying stop eating, stop consuming all of this altogether. However, if you're struggling with the issues related to the clogged and congested lymphatics, it's probably a good idea to leave it for a while out of your system to help to resolve all of this. Obviously, drink plenty of pure water. This is essential for our good health and lymphatics in particular. And then there is a special essential oils that are very helpful to support lymphatics. And these are frankincense, mint oil, lemon oil, juniper oil, to name a few. The other botanicals that are very helpful for the lymphatic system is golden seal, echinacea, nettle, astragalus, and not botanicals, but weirdly enough, very helpful for the lymph as well too. And this is melatonin, strangely enough, and quercetin. Next, skin dry brushing on a daily basis. Very, very beneficial for the lymphatics to open and make it flowing. However, it's important to start with these points around the collarbones to open up these terminal lymph nodes, and then go through the other parts of the body. Otherwise, it's not efficient as it should be. It's very important also to avoid tightly fitting clothes. or jewelry or anything that makes mark on your skin, because this creates a dam and prevents free lymph flow, which results in clogging, congestion, and a dysfunctional lymphatic system. And finally, I strongly suggest to incorporate in your morning routine a very simple 60 seconds self-massage to open up and activate your major lymph nodes to ensure that everything is working and flowing. So it's basically vibration, tapping, and rubbing at certain points to activate and stimulate the lymph flow. It doesn't matter really the way you communicate with your body, what kind of technique you use, but what is important is the sequence, particular order of doing this. And we should always start with the left point terminal, which is why? Because 3/4 of the lymph drains through this particular point to the heart. And the other quarter, the last quarter, is through the right clavicle point. So let's do it together. First, rub your skin in this point next to your neck, and then tap, slap 5 to 10 times. And repeat the same on the right side. Rub, 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 tap, tap. And then we'll do the same procedure to the major lymph nodes on the neck that drain lymph from your face, from your brain, your mouth. Very, very important. And if you feel like it's kind of painful or, something not comfortable, just keep doing it, but do it lightly. You don't have to hurt yourself. Please do not hurt yourself. So next point is the shoulder, where the pectorals and axillary limbs are stimulated. So we do the same. Just use your whole hand. Spread fingers. Rub your shoulder in this direction or this direction, doesn't matter, and slap. First left side, then right side. And then I have to stand up and adjust my camera. Next point is abdomen. So place one hand on your belly and one on top of it, and rub it in any direction you want. Doesn't matter what is. And then slap 5 to 10 times. Next point is a little bit problematic because I have microphone here. But anyway, the next point is the sternum. Just stimulate the lymph flow in the thighs, basically. And that will open up lymph drainage on the back and in the chest as well. Next point is inguinal lymph nodes. So basically you have to do the same operation in this, what's it called, groin crease. In any direction, either this or that, doesn't matter. And then slap. Be careful, don't hurt yourself. Okay, and the next point is your knees. Again, rub up and down on the back of your knees and slap a few times. So now, when all the lymph nodes, all the drainage is activated, stimulated, open. We've finished up this procedure, this little routine with the rebounding. So basically do some shaking. Keep your toes, the ball of your feet on the ground, on the floor, and just move your heels up and down for 10 seconds. And that's all. That's all it takes. See how easy it is? It takes literally 60 seconds to perform, and the benefits are enormous. And by the way, when we're sitting, no matter what we do, we prevent the free flow. We basically congest almost instantly our inguinal lymph nodes. That's why it's so important to take a break from the sitting as often as you can afford. As often as you can remember. Do some stretching, some movement, shaking. Shaking is very good. And or, this stimulation, activation. So I hope this information was helpful, at least in some regards. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel if you find this helpful and useful. Thank you for watching. Be well.